Hi guys, Jennifer here from Surrogate Sanctuary, answering our first Q&A from Twitter, Facebook, and from our Hotmail account. We will add our Twitter account, our Facebook page, and hopefully all you guys can send your questions there or your comments, what you want to see on our channel, and hopefully we can help everyone to the best of our abilities. So we'll get right into this. Our first question comes from Twitter. Intended parents are asking, how do they even start on their journey? Obviously, you've gone to your family doctor and found out that there is an issue. I would search your area for IVF clinics, for reputable IVF doctors. We'll add in the comment section a really good link that we found for across Canada. And if you're from the US, please let us know and what state you're from, and we'll try and help you find the clinic closest to you. This one will actually sit there and it has the map of Canada, and you can click on your province, and it will actually show you the clinics that some of the surrogates or intended parents that we've worked with have used those clinics and been successful with. So I'll add that down in the comments, and hopefully you're able to get the answers that you're seeking from the IVF clinic, because a lot of the time, in my experience, the family doctors were unsuccessful helping intended parents get pregnant, and they think, well, that's it. I know an intended father that was told he was unable to have a child of his own with his wife. And I suggested a clinic that I have used 3 times to carry and successfully give birth to all 4 of my surrogate babies. And they were able to fix the issue with him to get his wife pregnant, and they didn't need a surrogate. So I was really excited about that, because sometimes that is all it is. Sometimes it's trying a different method, or sometimes it's just maybe new medications or new methods that could be introduced to what you have been trying. Sometimes you do need a surrogate, which is fine. Most clinics will have people that they have worked with in the past, or know someone that is a surrogate, and they can guide you to where you should look for reputable surrogates. And sometimes you can actually find a surrogate in your family. Sometimes you can ask like a sister, a cousin, maybe your wife's best friend, or you have a best friend that you all can trust, and you guys can have a meeting. So I would suggest writing down all your questions beforehand and making sure that you're able to work with them for 13 plus months, just in case the journey doesn't go the way that everybody wants. Sometimes transfers don't take the first time, and it takes a second go, and you're successful. So hopefully that'll answer your question. If it's not, I apologize. Maybe more detailed of what you're wanting to know. And if you don't want your identity shown or said on here, no problem. Just email us at surrogatesanctuary@hotmail.com, and we won't reveal your identity. The next question is from Facebook, and we have someone asking how to become a surrogate. Well, first of all, legally, you have to be 21 years of age. I do recommend that you speak very good English or French, depending on the intended couple. Sometimes, like right now, we're getting a lot of international couples. Some speak Spanish, which is awesome. It turned out a couple we matched from Spain matched with a surrogate of ours, and she was fluent in Spanish, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, didn't know what was going on, what was being said, but I was just like, okay. I was just happy they clicked immediately, and they got along so well, and they matched, which I was really excited about. And yeah, so if you're 21, I think the cutoff for most clinics is 35, just to be safe for the surrogate. I know a surrogate mom, she carried 40, another one was 41, another one was 42. So sometimes if she is an experienced surrogate, she's been through the process, she's had no complications, she's had more vaginal births than C-sections, because it is a major surgery when you have a C-section. I've had 3. And there's complications sometimes. With myself, with my last surrogate baby, they were afraid that because the placenta was in the front, that it would actually attach to the C-section scar inside. And they're obviously the complication would be that as they're trying to deliver the baby, hemorrhaging, and then both of us are in danger. So I would highly recommend that you write down all of your birth history and get it ready for the clinic. So that way they know what your history is with births, and they know what to expect when they do the internal ultrasound to see if you're healthy enough, like your uterus is healthy enough and strong enough to carry a healthy surrogate baby all the way till term. So yeah, if you want, we're more than happy to match you with some of our intended parents, international and Canadian. US is not so much, but sometimes they do reach out because a lot of ladies are not carrying right now because it's Christmas. So we do have some ladies that are willing to match right now. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question. Next question is from Facebook again. Okay. I'm not going to say some of this information because it's a little too much. I don't want to put your business out there. They want to work with a lawyer, an IVF lawyer, but they want to have their surrogate work with the same lawyer. Unfortunately, you can't, because it's conflict of interest, because it looks like you are asking your surrogate to sign the contract, and if you have the same lawyer, it looks like she's being forced, or the lawyer is not looking after the client, because if you're the client and the surrogate's the client, conflict of interest. Like, who does the lawyer defend and who has more rights than the other party? Like, the job of a lawyer is to defend their client. And if the intended parents and the surrogate are both the client, it doesn't really work. Especially when you come to contracts and it's like, well, the intended parents are asking if there is any medical issues that, like Down syndrome, or the baby is missing a limb, that you have an abortion, and you as a surrogate don't agree with abortion, then, that's a conflict of interest. Well, basically, I don't think you guys could be matching, because obviously, God forbid, if that happens, then a party's going to be upset. So that's something I would discuss before you match, actually, but you want to make sure that you both have your own lawyers. That way you guys can talk to your lawyer, be really forthcoming of what you want in the journey, what you would want in the delivery room, what expenses that you are hoping to be reimbursed for. So hopefully, I would ask your lawyer if you can, if they could recommend a colleague that could help your surrogate. Yeah, I can also link you some really, really good IVF lawyers that I've worked with. Ashley's worked with a really great one. I really liked her a lot. So, yeah, if you're not sure, if your lawyer doesn't have anyone, as long as they have some knowledge of IVF and surrogacy, I would highly recommend going to a different lawyer. I wouldn't, even if you're independent, like if you're not with an agency, totally recommend that you guys both have your own lawyers, just to keep everything safe and everyone happy. I hope that answers your question. If not, I'm sorry, but we'll try and do better. But, okay. I'm going on to another question. This one's from Twitter. Sorry, I'm just going to read the question myself and then I'll answer it, because sometimes some of the questions, they put too much information, like back information, and I don't want to put someone's, information out there. Okay, she's saying that well, first of all, you're only 20. You need to be 21 to be a surrogate in Canada, legally. Even if you're independent, the clinic's going to still want you to be 21. Okay, she carried a baby, her own baby, till it was term, and she put it up for adoption. Sorry about that. But obviously, you thought you were making the best choice for the baby, which I totally respect. She wants to know if she can become a surrogate. Well, hun, you gotta wait until you're 21, first of all. Because you don't want to get anyone in trouble. You don't want to get the intended parents in trouble. IVF clinics will not work with you. You have to talk to a social worker when you're a surrogate. We're going to do a video about what you have to, basically, like we said, instead of doing the book, me and Ashley always come on Facebook and always come on YouTube when we want to know something, if we're unsure about something, if we need help with something. And we're like, well, no one who really reads books. I read books. I love books. But a lot of people are saying, who really reads books nowadays? Like, we were going to put it on Amazon and do the digital. And then we were like, well, we can make a YouTube channel and put it out there. So hopefully that helps people as well, instead of doing the book. But sorry, got off topic there. But yeah, you have to go to a social worker, and she's gonna obviously know that you're not legally allowed to carry because you're not 21. So yeah, but if you do go independent, like you guys were saying, instead of going to a clinic, do a home insemination. And obviously you are donating your egg, because if you go independent and you're doing a home insemination, you're using your own egg. So you would be an egg donor and a surrogate. The baby would be half your genetic makeup. So yeah, you wouldn't be able to avoid that, because you have to go to a lawyer, and they're going to want to see your ID when you're signing on a legal document and you're getting a notary and they're putting their signature and everything on there. They're going to see that when you show your ID, you're not 21. So I would just keep it legal to be safe for the baby, be safe for the intended parents, and yourself. And you want to make sure that you're making the best decision possible. Give it another year or so. And she mentioned her birthday, but I'm not going to say her birthday. But, just be on the safe side. If you really want to be a surrogate, it ain't going to change. Your life may change. You may meet someone and you might get married and you might have a family. You never know. So hopefully that answers your question, and best of luck to you. And we're here to support you, but I hope that you don't go independent and have the baby that way, because you never know who's got ears and who's gonna say something, and that's a bunch of legal trouble you don't want. And I'm pretty sure the intended parents don't want that kind of legal trouble. So just keep it honest, keep it to the letter, and wait a year or so, and the opportunity's there. But if you are willing, what it sounds like, to do the home insemination, you can donate your eggs and help a family create embryos. there's plenty of same-sex couples that are seeking, and heterosexual couples that are seeking egg donors. I'll private message you, and I will send you a person that I know that is really good with egg donation, and you could talk to her some more and tell her what your situation, that you want to be a surrogate. She also does surrogacy as well, so you can become an egg donor if you'd like, and do that until you're legal enough to be a surrogate. So I hope that answers your question. If you need more information or have further questions, again, please feel free to directly message us, surrogatesanctuary@hotmail.com. Okay, I'm going to go on to another question. Someone's asking, what is the average expenses for a surrogate in Canada? First time, second time, third time. It depends who you're, where you find your surrogate, first of all. If you're going independent, allowances tend to be not as much as if they're with an agency. Average that I know, like, I haven't carried in 2 years personally, but from average, Ashley just carried, so hers was, for her expenses, was $23, and she was a first-time surrogate at the time, so it was $23,000, and plus out of pocket. A surrogate should never be out of pocket for her expenses, for like a lawyer, IVF medication, clinic fees, transfer of the embryo, transportation to appointments. What am I missing? Staring at Ashley like for answers, like, hello. But yeah, so it goes from first time surrogate goes 23, and then if she's experienced, obviously successful, carried, then it goes up to 25 to 30, and then 3 time is from 28 to 33 or 35. It just depends who you go with. If you're with an agency, they will tell you up front in the profile when you pick a surrogate you want to talk to. It will say in there, this is such and such. She's carried X amount of babies. She had them either vaginal how many times, or C-section how many times, or VBAC where she went vaginal, or I'm sorry, she had a C-section and then she tried to go vaginal, or was successfully going vaginal. And they will tell you in there what she is asking for her expenses. So it's good to know ahead of time when you're checking out profiles, or if you're talking to a surrogate, what the expenses will be. So you can sit there and plan for the clinic, lawyers, hospital fees if there are any. She will ask for other things like maternity clothes. Some of them might ask for a food allowance. Some will ask for a doula on top of an OB. And I do recommend having both just in case. Like some people will only go with a doula, some will only go with an OB, some are both. So she might ask for that. And when you meet your surrogate, like, even if it's like, if you're an international couple, just Skype with them, talk over email. If you find there's a connection and you're like, I really want to talk to her some more, or if you're a surrogate and you're talking to intended parents, be like, okay, let's talk over Skype. I know it's not the same because it's a video chat, but there is some connection. I've connected with my international parents via Skype, and we met once, and well, it was more than once, but when they came to Toronto for our first transfer, we met a couple times, and I still love them more in person than on Skype. So yeah, Skype with them. see if there's a connection. See if you like, this is someone I want to work with for the next 13 months. Because like I said, everyone's like, well, baby only takes 9 months to carry and then birth. Well, sadly in the IVF world, nothing is guaranteed. You have to sit there and be like myself, where I had failed transfers. My first journey, right away, 2 embryos took, we had twins. Second journey, the first embryo didn't take, had to go frozen the second time. For the second transfer, it took, we had a baby boy. Third journey, first transfer didn't take again. Went again, frozen embryo, had a baby girl. So nothing is perfect. Even if she is an experienced surrogate, doesn't mean that you're guaranteed a baby. It just means she knows what to expect, which is great because, well, not really, because I still was very upset. As many surrogates will tell you, they were very upset, obviously, when it's a failed journey, because we put that on ourselves. We sit there and we're like, it's our fault that the embryo didn't take. And obviously, most of the time it's not. But as a surrogate, you're putting all those hopes and dreams of your intended parents having a family on yourself. And when it doesn't take, personally, maybe other surrogates felt different. Well, obviously they felt differently. But to me, when I saw my intended father cry, it still makes me cry. It upsets me because I felt like, wow, look what I did. But I didn't do it. I know that. We sat down with the IVF doctor and we got the embryos checked. And we picked the best that was left over and we transferred them and we had a baby. So, it doesn't matter if you're experienced or not. You still feel all those emotions. You're still going to feel some sort of way about if things work or if things don't work. So just keep that in mind. I do highly recommend first-time surrogates because their allowance is cheaper. 2, you don't have as many births under her belt. Excuse me. You don't have as many births under her belt. So she's a mother of 2 children. That's 2 births. If she's had any miscarriages, they kind of consider that a birth. And it is something that they will look into. What was the reason for the miscarriage, or for the pregnancy didn't take, or was it a stillbirth? Like, they take all those into consideration. So first-time surrogates are great. Like, they need experience. They need someone to believe in them, because I know I'm getting a lot of intended parents. I want someone that's experienced, because at the end of this, they know what to expect. They've been through it before. They're not gonna... They understand. They have a family of their own, so they're not going to be bugging me every day for an update or pictures, or they understand they're going to want to heal and get back to their family, get back to their life. But understand every surrogate's different. But, first-time surrogates are just as great as second or third-time surrogates. They're not as experienced, but you got to look at the fact if they have their own kids. Well, they have to have their own kids, but if she has her own children, she understands. After a birth, parents get busy. So ask her, does she have a support system? Do you know any surrogates? There are plenty of great support groups on Facebook for surrogates. A lot of guru, that's what you call experienced surrogates, are willing to help surrogates that are brand new and tell them things that they didn't even expect or they didn't even think of. So I hope that those first-time surrogates are able to find the support system they need. It's great to have family to back you up, but surrogates are going to understand you and get what you're going through more than someone that just carried their own child, because you're carrying it for someone else. And at the end of the journey, sometimes those intended parents are amazing. I'm very lucky that I have intended parents that send me photos, videos, we keep in touch with each other. They ask me how my own children are doing. We're on Facebook with each other. So there are some situations where you never talk to your intended parent or your surrogate again. It's nothing personal. It's just they have their life and you have yours. And sometimes that's just the way things happen. So hopefully, you get a wonderful couple or a wonderful surrogate and you have an amazing journey. But like I said, not everything is guaranteed. And things don't always turn out the way you expect them to. So, well, that's life, right? So, that's why I say it's like very important to connect to your surrogate or your intended parents and get to know them. And people do change, sadly, sometimes. I've had that happen a couple times to surrogates and intended parents I've worked with. So, yeah, I would just get to know your parents well, and don't sit there and think because she's a first-time surrogate, she's not going to be an amazing surrogate. Because she may surprise you. She may not know everything, but that's what support groups are for. And if you need links to support groups, private message us. We will gladly send you those links to amazing groups we know of. If you're with an agency, ask them. Do you have a support group that I can join? If you're an intended parent, same thing. There's amazing intended parent support groups out there. Even if it's not Canadian, it's fine. US ones, international ones. You all feel the same. We're all human. We all have the same emotions. Maybe you've had a bad experience and you're upset and you're scared. But you got to take a chance on someone else, because my intended parents, all of them had a bad first experience. But we were able to work past that, and now they're all parents. Like, they have their own children. So if my first intended parents didn't take a chance on me, I wouldn't have carried for the next two couples. So I would sit there and see how many children she has, what kind of birth she has, what kind of complications she has. If she's an experienced surrogate, ask her if you could talk to her last intended parents. Who would know her better in that situation than her own intended parent? I offered that with my second couple. I said, I carried for X, how many months ago, or how many, years ago. Would you like to talk to them? And I would reach out to my last intended couple that I carried for, and I said, listen, I'm looking to carry again. This is the couple. Would you mind talking to them? Tell them, maybe they might have questions on the journey, or they might even have, just some questions about myself. So hopefully, they get the information they need and they're able to make a choice on, yes, she's good for me, or no, she's not good for me. And maybe they might be able to give them some more inside information about who they want to work with, like agencies or IVF clinics or lawyers. So sharing is caring. And I hope that helps. My battery's actually running low on my camera, so I'm going to end it there. I will finish up these questions. I apologize if I didn't get to your questions today. I'll go through more of them and make another video as soon as my battery charges up. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm sorry that this video was so long, but it's surrogacy. The information is always changing and you need to learn something new every day. So hopefully this video helps some of you guys. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. Or if you don't want your information out there, surrogatesanctuary@hotmail.com. And I will do my best to answer, and Ashley, if she gets on camera, our best to answer all questions that you guys post to us. And please subscribe, please like, and we'll post these videos, on our surrogate page, our Facebook page, and you can go there as well and talk to other intended parents and surrogates. So talk to you guys soon, and again, we'll make another video. Just let the battery charge and we'll get back to you guys. Bye.